In the Nordics, we leave our babies to sleep outside.
This is weird. Hello, guys. Welcome. I'm Canadian. I've never been to any Nordic country, so what are the differences with Canada? The only thing I know is you guys like snooze, you like the nature, and you are very direct. So today we're gonna watch a video called Normal Things in the Nordic Countries but Nowhere Else.
The Nordic countries are full of habits which make perfect sense to me, as I am a Danish woman. However, the following statements can apply to pretty much all the Nordics, I'd say. So these are things that are completely normal in the Nordics, but can be viewed as weird or even rude to other nationalities. Eating caviar from a tube is normal. It's not really like eating caviar every day is normal. It's more like
Isn't it supposed to be fancy food?
the caviar in the tube is normal. Like, we have a lot of things in tubes, actually. You can get like condiments and yeah, meats, pasty meats in tubes. That's okay. I think I can see why that would be weird to some. Or
I never had that.
Gross. Danes eat cold liver pate on rye bread. Yeah, I'm warning you right now. Don't come for leverpostej on my channel.
Wait. Liver pate on rye bread? Yeah. What? Why is it weird? It's pretty good.
Not allowed. It may look kind of bad. But
No.
It tastes like heaven, especially like with roasted
love
onions and like a little bit of bacon and I've made this next one specific to Denmark as well because I couldn't find out if the other Nordic countries did this. In Denmark, the person who has a birthday is expected to bring cake to school or to the workplace.
Really?
And nobody brings anything. Nobody brings anything for the birthday person. I can see why that does not make sense. And it's tricky nowadays because you're not even allowed to like bring cakes to school anymore because a lot of schools have sugar policy and all that. But back when I was a kid, we had cake like every week. I swear I can't eat cinnamon cakes today because that was the easiest cake like to make in bulk. So I've had my fair share in my lifetime. And from the more foodie theme, we go into like daily life and childcare with this one because in the Nordics, we leave our babies to sleep outside in the stroller, both at home and if we go into a cafe or a store, like we just leave the kid outside.
This is weird.
I don't know. I think that makes perfect sense. It's health related, and like people don't really steal babies here. At least it's not a normal thing to happen. To be fair, parents often have like baby alarms attached to the strollers, and they can see the kid through the windows of the stores or wherever they are. But it's such a normal thing to pass a lone stroller with a baby in it. Many Nordic people check their hallways through their peepholes before going outside to avoid their neighbors. Yeah. Yes, we do that.
Hey, personal space is important, in the Nordic countries. But yeah, the baby thing, I mean, I'm laughing because in Canada, no one would ever do that.
So many times, I have even closed the door when I've heard another door opening further up the staircase. I don't want to talk to people all the time. Like, I'm just trying to get rid of my trash. I don't need conversation during that time. It's often I will be in my pajamas. And even the neighbors know this here. They don't want to talk to me either. Neither of us wants to be forced to be the polite one and say hi first. This next one I did not realize was not allowed in a lot of other countries, but like our police are allowed to take blood samples from us if they suspect us of being intoxicated or high, even without possession. An example, they do it a lot to drivers they suspect to be under the influence.
Blood sample
like
right away.
A full needle and just jab it in you. They take you to the hospital and get it done professionally. And I think that makes perfect sense because if you're doing something that's illegal while drunk or otherwise intoxicated, like you can tell when people are drunk. I don't know about you guys. Maybe I'm just talking out of my ass, but I think it just makes sense to me. We use weak numbers and
Yeah, it makes
often
sense.
refer to them, and that confuses many foreigners. Like, I completely understand why. Even I have to check my calendar to be able to follow those conversations correctly. Then we'll do this in week 33. Yes, when is that?
Week
Like, I know
33?
week 52 is like end of year, but otherwise, fuck me. Nordic people
Yeah,
love
same.
silence. Like, if there's no reason to talk, it's okay not to talk, even if you're in like social gatherings. And I think that's very true, actually. Like, I can be quiet with friends without it being awkward. I think it gets more awkward if people try to keep a conversation going, and it's just like, it's not what everyone is feeling.
Us Canadian, we cannot keep quiet. Always some small talk, nonsense talk. All the time.
And you can tell when people are talking just to talk, right? Does that make sense? I understand why it can seem like detached or cold if you're in your culture, you're used to like keeping the conversation going at all times. But it's just, we just don't view it that way here. Our everyday languages lack a lot of social pleasantries, which often makes us seem rude, even when we're not trying to be. Again, I think that's very true. Like, as I said, we don't really care that much for small talk, and if we think the...
To be honest, I feel a bit embarrassed as a Canadian when I realized about our ways, like the small talk, the meaningless talking. It's just like, it's not necessary. It leads to nowhere. It's like lies. It's just a bunch of white lies that leads to nowhere. And I prefer the Nordic way, if you ask me.
Conversation is pointless. We don't really engage in it. And I get why that can make us seem cold or rude. However, I think I've tried to explain it like this before. Like, the Nordic people as a whole are very respectful of other people's time and like personal space. To us, it's almost seen as more rude to take other people's time or to intrude in whatever the person you were talking to was doing before you started talking to them. Does that make sense? Not greeting acquaintances when passing them on the street is normal. I think this is both right and wrong at the same time, because if you get eye contact, you say hi or you do a quick nod. But both people in
like
that
friends
exchange probably feel a little bit awkward about it. However, if you see that the other person has not seen you yet, you kind of tend to walk away a little quicker, make ourselves a little scarce.
Okay, but this is not your friend. If it's your friend or family, like, you're gonna say hi, right?
Nordic people rarely introduce their friends to each other when bumping into them on the street. Like, let's say you're with a friend and you're bumping into another friend on the street. If the friend group is not the same, we don't. We can tell the friend we're with who that person was when we have left, but we don't like Julie, Søren, John, Julie. It's not. No, maybe it's just a generational thing, but I don't do it very often. Unless it really makes sense to me somehow. Making friends with Nordic people can be very tricky. Yes, Nordic people often have these very tight-knit friend groups that they've had since they were like kids. Often like the friendship spaces are already filled up, and then it can be really, really hard for an outsider to break into that friendship bubble. I think the best place to make new friends as an adult in the Nordics is to go out and do your hobbies with like-minded people, because those people are often ready to make badminton within that friend space. That is their hobbies. Nordic people don't sit next to strangers on the bus, and we also block the extra seat with our bags. Yeah, we do that. We do move the bag if the bus is full and somebody needs a seat. But other than that, yeah, stranger danger. As we've already established, Nordic people don't like to talk to strangers much, but somehow we don't mind being naked together in a sauna. I don't really know what to say to that other than, yeah. It's just a body, right? Many Nordic people will not think about holding doors open for others and may push past you silently in public transport or in the supermarket. Like, yeah, I think a lot of us don't really think about it in our everyday lives. Like, it's common sense to
I
us
open the door
when
every
someone
time.
pushes.
I think it's rude if I go and someone, come on, you I don't know why. Is it? It's not even that rude when you think about it. Like, whatever, I'll open the door myself. Why do I think it's rude? I don't know. I grew up like that, I guess.
Past us in a narrow space without saying anything because that person needed to walk past. I don't think it's rude. Like, it makes sense to me that our shoulders needed to brush together for that person to walk past. It's not like it's done on purpose, and if it is done on purpose, it's very obvious. I don't know, maybe it's just me. Like, I don't see a reason to use my energy being offended over stuff like that. There's a lack of hospitality compared to other cultures. I think that's right as well. We don't just invite people into our homes. Our homes are just very private to us. I have friends who have never even been here. Very close friends as well. So I guess that, like, the home is just very private. And if you get invited to a Nordic person's home,
then it
your
means
friends,
something.
that or
Okay.
you deliver food. Also, if you do have an acquaintance over or friends even, like, you offer them drinks and maybe cake or snacks, but you don't really make food for them. Unless it's planned beforehand, you don't offer food. That leads me on to family time is often like a private matter, and visitors are not included in meals unless it's decided beforehand. Yeah, I think
I mean,
we don't really
like
make
this
a lot
too
of
in
extra
Canada.
food. So if you have a friend over and your family is making food, they kind of need to know if the friend is staying over for dinner or not in advance, so they can have a portion of food for them. Like, to me, that makes sense. Like, why would I make food for you if I don't know if you're staying or not? Like, even if my kid was out playing with a friend, I would expect them home for dinner and not for the other family to make dinner for my kid. Like, it's not saying that it can't happen. Like, I just say that stuff like that often needs to be planned here. Nordic people avoid conflict like the plague. We won't complain about bad service. We just never return. Not saying that nobody complains and
I thought it was the opposite. I thought you guys were very direct.
sends food back or stuff like that, but the general consensus here is that it's not worth the extra conversation. We eat the shitty food and then we go. I think the only time we really complain about food, it's when it's missing. Like, we won't complain if the meat is bad or the food is kind of cold, but if we're missing a condiment that we paid for, we'll politely go up to the bar and say, excuse me, could I please have the condiment I paid for? Pretty please.
Normal.
Thank
Standard.
you. Nordic communication is very direct. Example, could you move? We can't see. Yes. Our communication style is very direct. There's not much like, excuse me, we can't see much. Could you please, like, move just a little? No.
So Canadian.
It's like, move, we can't see. Can you flip that? We can't see. Yeah, that's what we would say. And when we direct translate that into English, it just sounds even more rude. So yeah, I understand why it can be seen as rude. The Nordics don't use titles or surnames much, even in formal settings. Yeah, we call, like, teachers, managers, and doctors by their first names. It's actually so weird to me as a Nordic person calling other people by their surnames. If people call me by my surname, I would be like, you talking to me? Like, I'm sorry, am I a tax form? And I don't know if this is just a strictly Danish thing, language-wise, but our enthusiasm is often not backed up by enthusiastic words. Example, if you have a meal that is one of the best meals you've had in a while, a Dane won't go like, wow, that was the best meal. A Dane would be more like, that meal was good. And all the other Danes around them would completely understand that they really like the food.
Really?
Also, the Nordics don't tip at restaurants because the waiter and waitresses are given a full salary. Even if they have an off day, they can still feed their families.
Yeah, but for us in Canada, you have to pay a percentage of what you sold at the restaurant in taxes. So basically, if you sold for $1,000, I don't know, now it probably changed, but you got to give 8%. So that's why everyone is tipping 15% or more.
Just so frustrating when common sense hits you straight in the face. And that was all I had for you today. If you like content like this, you are free to subscribe, because there will be more. I am the lady with the Nordic flags on her cheeks, so yeah, all 5 personalities live in here, rent-free. Anyway, like, comment.
Interesting. Yeah, okay, so you're very direct. This is what I thought. You guys are not, please, could you do this, please? No, it's just do this. I like it. I like it. We're a little too nice sometimes in Canada, and it gets annoying, to be honest. Guys, thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.